Hi guys, it's Paul here. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're well. Okay, so today I'm just going to do a really quick sketch of Dobby. I've had quite a few people on my YouTube comments and through my Facebook group requesting a quick Dobby tutorial. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do Dobby's head and shoulders, a little bit of his cloth sack that he wears, but it's just a drawing, this one, so there's no major colour. We're just going to put a splash of colour in towards the end. I'm going to go for black, silvery grey, and then a little bit pink, a little bit of orangey pink, or fleshy pink, and a little bit of well, it looks like peachy colour, very light, almost like a really light brown colour. These are the faber-castell classic colour range that I got these from Amazon. Okay, so I'm just going to do his head. I'm going to do it around this area. Okay, I'm just going to have him looking up into the sky. So I'm going to start with his nose. I'm going to do his ear coming down here. And we're just going to do it in this area here. Okay, so hopefully you'll get that on camera. Okay, so a range of pencils that you need for this, and a few pencil crayons. Okay, so we're going to start off with his nose, all right, or the bridge of his nose. So it's going to go like this, all right, and then we're going to bring his eye, big bags under his eyes. Okay, so I'm going to bring that round, just nice and light. I'm using a 2H pencil at the moment. Okay. Now we need to get his eyes in, but we're just going to do around the outside of his eyes first, okay? So we'll draw this kind of thing. I'm going to go round here, and we're going to bring this down to about there, okay? Now that isn't his eye, that's just going to be where we're going to bring his eye into, that kind of area, okay? To get his eye looking up, okay, first of all we'll draw the top of his eye as a curve. So hopefully you can see this on camera in a minute. So we'll get his eye in like this, okay. From here you want to be almost straight across. You don't need to curve this at the bottom. That's what it's going to look like, that side. Okay. Now what you want to do is he's kind of looking at an angle. So what you want to do is, if you put your pencil along the line like that, that's the kind of angle his eye is. If you draw it straight on, it won't look right. He's kind of looking whimsical up at Harry Potter, actually, I think, in that direction. Okay. Now just to show you how if we put the eyeball in, it will really come to life. The eyeball wants to be roundish and not touching the bottom, but not that far away. Okay, and you don't want to see too much white here, but you want it to look as if he's looking up. Now his pupil, can have him looking like that. Okay, so he's looking up slightly. All right, now what we're going to do is, if you just put a dot there, so you can get the kind of angle that you want. We're going to go up and over with this one. You want to try and, if you can, match the size of your other eye. Okay, that's quite important when you're doing eyes. All right, but what you want to do is have it again so it's quite flat, but try to get that angle there. Okay, so yeah, if you drew a line, it'd be a diagonal, not quite straight, not really diagonal, but we're just at a little angle there, going up the page. Okay, and then again we want the eye, this side, it goes just to the bottom. Okay, and like that. All right, so we're going to go up like this. Okay, So here now we're going to have the eye there, so you can see the whole circle there. Okay, whereas in this one you can't. All right. So we can leave that now for a minute. We've just got a big bag underneath this eye. Okay, and it goes into this area here. Okay, and above this eye we've got a darker line like this one. We've got another couple of dark lines here. Okay, what you want to do is get this curve going if you can. So he's looking up towards the air, okay, up towards the sky. Now we want a really thin but kind of bulbous nose at the bottom. Okay, so we just do the nose like this. Okay, so we want a little bulbous nose. Okay, and again, if you can get that at an angle, it'll help with looking up towards the sky. Okay, and we'll bring some detail in there later. Okay, what we're now going to do is just get his head right. Okay, so a couple of lines here. Then we've got a curve at the top of his head. His head's quite flat at the top. Okay, and we've got, this is curving down as well. Okay, so we've got another bump here, and then it goes into ears that look like Yoda's really in Star Wars. This elf ear. Okay, so we're getting the shape nice now. Okay, from here you want to bring this down into this kind of position. Now there's a line here which goes like this, okay, and he's got another line here which is quite a firm line. Okay, now if you can get the angle of his eyes right, you can also get the angle of his ears. So at the top of his head here, right at the top of his head, you're going to curve, but you're going to stop there. Okay, then his ears coming in. Alright, and it's quite a droopy ear on this side, but quite, well, like bat ears really, quite big ears. Okay, now he's got from a line from here, so we put a dot there, okay, and we go up to here. We can then go across, curve it round, and we can go into this kind of shape. Okay, move out of the way in a minute so you can see. Alright, so we've got a curve here. It's quite actually difficult to find easy chibi Japanese versions of Dobby. Could only really think of, there's only one that I could find that to show you, and it was like a pin badge, and I didn't really like it, so I thought I'd do an actual bit of sketching today instead. Okay, so you can see there Dobby's ear on that side, quite fleshy at the top. Okay, so we'll just take this higher actually here. All right, take it for higher, and then we're going to bring this in here. All right, so we're going to be bringing this through. We're going to have another line here which curves, which is his inner ear. Okay, and this is all going to be darkened off in a little while. Okay, so we can be quite rough with that. With his nose, on this side we've got some more lines coming in. Okay, and we've got lots of lines underneath here. We've got quite a few bags underneath this one. Okay, and this is dark in this area, all right? So we're going to have a little smirk on his face because he's found Harry Potter. Okay, so we're going to do a little smile, but it's kind of like a whimsical little smile. Okay, so we want this curving down here underneath his nose. All right, and then we're going to have a line like this. Okay, and this is all going to be filled in a little while. Okay, you want this pretty straight across here. All right, so we're going to get underneath his mouth. We've got a big curve here. This is going to come around his chin. Hasn't really got a chin in this piece of artwork. Okay. So his ear now on this side. What we want to do is just to bring in this cheek a little bit more. Okay, so a few lines here. All right. Now, from level with his mouth, we're going to have his ear curving. Okay. And we're going to have a little curve here, and it's a little bump, and it's going to go right round to here. Okay. There we are. Now, top of this is going to go up, and it's going to go really close to this edge here. Okay. And I'm quite happy with that. From this point, we're going to have a little bit of his inner ear coming in. We're going to have a lighter section here and a darker section there. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down a little bit more. Okay, and this is how it's going to look there. Okay, so this is now coming together a little bit more. One line like this. Okay, we're going to bring his neck. We're going to bring his neck down to about here. His neckline. He's got a shawl on. Okay, or a bag. Rags he's got really. Okay. I'm just going to get this neck right now. Okay, so we've got this neckline that sweeps down to about there, and then we've got another piece of cloth that comes across. Okay, and from this area we've got another line like this. He's got a knot where his cloth is simply tied. Okay, got a couple of lines out like this. That's it there, like that. Okay, and it's going to go into this area here. That's it. So there's a knot, and then his shoulder simply comes away from here, and he's got really pencil thin arms here, so we can just fade the arms away there. We're not drawing the whole of Dobby's body on this one. Okay, do another Dobby for you later on in a future video. Okay, so we're going to bring in quite a bit of darkness in this area here, and we'll do a bit more detail around his eyes in a little while. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change to a slightly thicker, deeper pencil colour or shade. I'm going to go for a little B here round. This is a B pencil crayon I'm using now. I'm just going to go into these areas, and we're going to darken this off. Okay, around this outside edge of this one. So we're just doing pencil shading, okay? If you've got charcoal, you could possibly use some charcoal, okay? So I'm just putting in where the darker areas are first. So the darkest bit is the bit inside his inner ear here, this section, okay? So the darkest into there, all right? We've got another darker section here where we've got a bit more cheek bone, okay? It's quite funny shaped face, so it's quite bony, okay? So we have to kind of suggest that in the lines that we're drawing, okay? A little bit more detail on that one. His nose much darker underneath, okay? So we're going to go darker in there, darker through here, okay? And that will really draw our attention to the shape of his nose, okay? This one's darker, okay? And then we've got some real work to do with the eyes, okay? So much darker in here. You don't want it really, really dark, but it needs to be darker than his eyes, okay? And we're going to curve some lines around here, but leave some white, okay? But you want to go the same kind of curve as his eye, all right? So what you can probably do is lift this by doing some really strong lines with his eyes, okay? Real strong lines here with his eyes. Same with this B pencil, okay? If you've got a darker pencil like a 3 or 4B, you could use that. It tends to be softer as you're going, like 4B, 5B, 6B, softer. So when you want these sharper lines, I'd stick to something like a B or even a HB. Don't want it too sharp, the pencil, okay? But we're going to just bring in some more solid lines here. Another one going round his eye, okay, which kind of breaks up this shape here, okay? You don't want to too harsh a line here, okay? But this is quite dark above his eyes there, okay? So now it's coming together. What I need to just do is just make sure that you're aware that if you put your hand over the art with this pencil sketch, you're going to smudge everything, okay, like I've just done. Okay, so not too much of a problem if it's pencil. It's harder if it's pencil crayon, but we can always rub out at the end. But you don't want to be putting your hand across the art too much and blow it away if you can, okay? So, Dobby's coming together a little bit more. I'm just going to focus now on just bringing in some darkness into these areas, okay? So I want some more dark here into his shoulder, okay? I want this to look like a sketch. I don't want it to look perfect. So I'm just being quite loose with my pencil here. I really want to bring that darkness in, but I want you to see that it's a sketch, okay? I don't really want to make it look perfect, okay? It's supposed to be a sketch. Now above his nose, I'm going to do a little bit of circular work here, okay? A little bit of circular work. He's got a few marks here, and then I want this curve to be darker, okay? So eye-wise, we're now getting to the stage where we need to be really careful with the eye, okay? So I want your eye to be drawn to the centre, to that eye there, okay? So again, we want dark around the outside edge and lighter here in the middle, okay? Now I'm going to go round the eye with tiny little lines, okay? But I'm going to go from the pupil outwards, almost like you're doing a sun, like that. That's much better. That's good. And I'm just going to go over that very lightly on that side there, okay? And over the top very, very lightly in that area there, okay? And that's really all the detail I want to do on the eye, I think. Going to bring some heavier shading above here. Okay, above the eye there, much darker there, okay? That's it. And then his cheeks wise, just going to bring a few lines in. Going to just bring a little bit of shade into this bottom area here, okay? Now his mouth, you want is this kind of triangle going on there, okay? And you want it to go to a point, all right? A little bit lighter. Okay. Okay, so he's got some lines going on here, okay, which you're going to be bringing in a little bit of line work, and you want to be bringing in this kind of triangular effect at the top, so he looks quite old. Okay, some lines through here, a few lines here. His cheeks and his bags need a lot more work now, so lots of lines now coming this way, quite dark as well in places. Okay, you've got that dark and light now. Right, I want to darken this off more so, okay, and a few lines across his nose just to break up that line. You don't want that line too severe, okay. Alright, now his chin, this is quite important, so I'm going to go back to my 2H pencil and I'm going to do some cross hatches. Okay, and what I mean by that is I'm going to go in two directions like this, okay. I'm going to continue that cross hatching down his neck, okay, and then we're going to go across his neck here with some lines. Alright, now most of these will disappear, but I want you to try and work on lots of pencil action in this area, because this is the shade on his face, okay. So I'm now working in this, I've got a 2H in my hand now, okay, and I'm working through putting some real character into his face, okay. A little bit more shading under here, okay. But these are the lines that you need to be quite strong, these two here, one there and one that side, okay. And he's got lots more darkness under here, alright. What you need to do is make sure that you're building up that shading, okay. At the moment this is looking quite good with just pencil, so I might leave this with just pencil, bring a little bit of that colour through here, or that shading through here, okay. You want this kind of thing going on. That's what I want to see if you can do, this kind of shading, okay. This is going to be much darker in this area, okay. probably the darkest part of his body. All right, but I'm going to just do some wispy lines here. He's got another line coming in here, like that, and then he's got a number of lines through this area here. Okay, nice and loose. It's supposed to be looking like cloth, so just, you know, go with the flow and just enjoy just putting some lines on this now. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my B again, because I want to darken this off but make it nice and soft. So I'm just not putting any weight on the pencil, I'm just dropping some lines in, okay, and I'm just softening this up but making it darker. Okay, darker in this area, darker in here, darker around the outside edge of that knot. Okay, I'm just going into a little bit of darkness here. Okay, soften this edge up. This needs to be more solid now. So what we've got here is we've got his neck coming in. All right, his head coming in like this, and we're going to go a little bit darker under his mouth. Okay, this area there. Okay. Okay, so at the moment we're looking okay. A few extra lines and things we need to be drawing in. His ears are looking pretty good. A little bit darker in this area. Okay, not too much work on there, and then this area here is really quite dark. Okay, so you can go to town with how dark you want to go there. Okay, so we've got a darker edge there, a little bit darker through this area here. This is great, looking good now. And then this area here, probably your darker sections, not all dark, but you want to get some real darkness going through into this area here. Okay, so we've got that knot there, we've got some darker sections here, and we've got some darker bits here. This is nice and dark through here. Okay, I'm going to leave this, go back to my 2H pencil, couple of lines down there. We've got some lines coming in here. Okay, and we're just going to be cross hatching again here. Okay, so nice and cross hatches in here. If you can, put some darkness through here. Alright, I'm just going to pick up now. I'm going to pick up a little bit of colour. Alright, just see how we get on with this. Alright, we're just going to highlight some of the white bits with a slight bit of colour. Okay, so I'm just going to add now tiny flashes of this creamy, just creamy kind of brown. Alright, and I think I need to go back and do a little bit more work with this B under his eyes on this side. Okay, nice and darker under his eyes here. Okay, darken this up a little bit, I think. Okay, so we've got some colour here, and that's looking great. Okay, and that's what we're looking at there is Dobby. Just a quick sketch of Dobby. I think I'm quite happy with that. I want to leave it there, don't want to do too much. Have a go, use your rubber if you've got any extra pencil where you don't want it. Okay, leaned on here quite a bit. blow off your excess. Of course, make sure you do that. I think I'm just going to get the 2H here, and just in case I just rubbed out the ear, I want to just darken this bottom section of his ear so it's nice and clear. Okay, around there. All right, and that is pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. So there you go. If you wanted to sign it, you know, you could just sign it at the bottom there if you wanted to. And that's it. We just carry on and on and on with that, really. You can do as much or as little detail in that shading as you want to. We want a few lines, more lines under here maybe. Make that a bit darker under his eyes. Okay. And that is our Dobby. Okay. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you can see it. And see you again soon. Take care.